Today we have a basketball sneaker review for you guys. The Harden Volume 5 Future Natura. Yeah, took me forever to figure out how to say that, but let's get right into it. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, this is our first long video. We've been uploading shorts, but I'm Chase. Normally I will have my co-host of this channel, Brad, Stick Kid Swag, if you know him from TikTok, on here to do these reviews, basketball videos with me. But the channel is going to be mostly dedicated to everything basketball, and we're going to get everything in between involved as well. So hit that like button and subscribe. We're on that grind to 1,000 subs, so let's get into the review. First off, I'm going to start it off with looks. As you guys can see, these are very, very sharp. The polka dot design is exactly what you need on the court to me when you're wanting to stick out, stand out, be kind of vibrant with it. The blue is very nice. We've got a university blue around most of the shoe. But as you can see, like on the laces, on the outside of the upper of the shoe, we have a navy, which goes super, super well. And it just helps those polka dots that are white very, very stick out on these. Now, one thing that you can notice is on half of the polka dots towards the bottom along this navy where it comes into the mesh of the blue colorway, the polka dots switch from white to navy. They even like kind of split in half. One thing that I really like about this shoe that's a little bit different, but they've gotten this from the off-white shoes, is in the middle here they have a little bit of writing on the upper, on the inside of the shoe. It says created with James Harden Volume 5, which I love on all the off-white shoes, and it really makes a nice touch and makes the shoes look professional. I really like that a lot. It's just subtle designs. But one thing that I will say is I do not like the design of the back of the shoe. It's very plain, as you can see, but why I don't like it is because it's so thin on the top. And once I get into the performance section, you will see why I don't like it. One thing that I probably would have added if I was Adidas, James Harden, I would have made the laces white. I feel like white laces on these would have been so smooth, but as you guys can see, they went with the dark navy. If you get white, it's gonna pop so much more. I also probably would have done that with the little Adidas on the back tab here and the Harden signature on the front. But other than that, I love the look of these shoes. And I'm gonna give this a 7.5 on looks. You know, I'm not gonna say it's top of the line for shoes or basketball shoes in general, but I do think that they get the job done and they look very nice, at least in this colorway. I do think that there's a lot of ugly colorways in this shoe though, but I rock with them. I know some people think that they're kind of feminine with the polka dots, but I mess with it. I think on the court you gotta stand out, be vibrant, and they're sweet. Going into the performance part of the shoe. Now, I have worn these guys a few times to play hoops in and just shoot around, and honestly, I do not like the overall vibe that I get on the court with them. Now, I have a narrow foot. I'm skinny, I have a narrow foot, I am a size 9, these are a 9, but they just do not fit well for me at all. They are very, very wide, if you can see, and I hate that. My shoe it needs to be tight when you're on the court, you know? It has to feel right. It needs to be a part of the foot almost, as Kobe would say when making his shoes. But these, they are not. They are very wobbly. I'd almost consider them like clown shoes for me. And I think one of these main things, other than just being how wide it is the sole inside. Inside the shoe, the sole is so low down to the ground. It feels like you're touching the ground on these, which is very hard on your feet when jumping, which is also a very big problem. So I just think with that not taking up much of the shoe, and also I'm going to show you guys, get a close-up zoom if I can, but the inside of the heel and around the ankle has these bulges of cushion that stick out. Personally, I hate it because your heel is not fully to, you know, the shoe. It's on these bulges that stick out, and there's tons of grooves that are just not covered, and it feels very, very loose on your foot. And that is not a good sign at all. So I'm gonna give the material of the shoe a 2 out of 10. I hate it. I hate the way it feels on your foot. And I think that's mostly because of the way that they did the heel and ankle, which is so important in hoop shoes. I mean, we gotta get that right. But if you have a wide foot, you will probably rate this completely different. So maybe give them a try if you're a bigger foot, wider foot. Not me. If you have a narrow foot, I would not get them for hooping at least, because, I mean, it's just too loose. Let's talk about how it fits for someone who, you know, is looking to get these and, you know, say you're a size 9. I would personally, if you're going to try it with a narrow foot, then I would go with an 8.5, just because of how loose they feel, because of how wide they are. But the problem is the length seems to be fine for me anyway. So being a size 9, the length is good, but the width is bad. So I probably just would stay away if you can, but I would go a size down, kind of stay snug, because that's what you want on the court. So go with an 8.5. As for traction on the court, they were okay. I would probably give it a 5 out of 10. Not too much slippage, but you don't get the real good traction that you get with other hoop shoes, you know, where you're feeling very grippy, bouncy. I did not feel that in these. And guys, I just cannot stress enough how you feel like you're kind of on the ground with these soles. You know, you don't want that at all when hooping, because when you land, you know, when you're jumping so often and you're always moving side to side laterally, it really can affect you, and you're just hitting that wood, hitting the concrete, wherever you're playing, indoor, outdoor, and it just does not feel good on the bottom of your feet. Not good at all. Now, right now, guys, these are running for about $110 on StockX, which is $20 under retail. If you were to get them when they dropped on Adidas, they were rocking a $130 retail price. So, I mean, yes, relatively, it's a pretty on the cheaper side, you know, hoop shoe. There are some shoes that are more budget shoes that go a little under $100, but honestly, for $110, it's not too bad, especially looks wise. I think that they look sweet, but performance wise, they are not good. I would not recommend these overall, even with the pretty decent price point. I would rate this shoe overall probably a 3 to 4 out of 10. We're gonna go with a 3.5 out of 10 for the Harden Volume 5 Future Natura rating. But listen, if you have a wide foot, this could be completely different for you, but narrow footers, stay away from the Harden Volume 5. And that is coming from someone who had the original Hardens back in the day, and I loved them. But Adidas, to me, they did not make these right, at least for people with skinny foot. But guys, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the like button if this helped you, and let me know your guys' favorite hoop shoe right now and what shoe you guys think will be next.